Hi, I'm Andrew Purdy. I'm a data analyst at the Data City. So for a while, we've been focusing on gender data in our platform. So this started with a no-code hack that we did last May time. So we were answering the question really of how to assess inclusive growth and what would be an appropriate way of kind of tracking that and creating something that we would hope to roll out across the country. So we looked at leads and we were looking at the funding gap between uh, women and men-led businesses in Leeds. No surprise, there's a shocking discrepancy between men and women-led businesses. And so we've taken this data a bit further. So rather than looking at the leadership of a company, which we were looking at directors before, we're looking at founders. So getting more into people who probably have more significant control in the day-to-day of a company. So this data is really important. To my knowledge, I don't think there's many data sources that cover this topic, and especially in such depth. So we've got founder data for over 4 million companies, which is really, really comprehensive. And I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but it's accurate too. I think this data's got a lot of potential for impact. And I think analysing it, you have to be a little bit careful, but from what I've seen looking at it, when you look at companies that are the same size and you look at how much women-founded businesses have received in total compared to men-founded businesses, it's again a very, very shocking amount compared. It's significantly less funding in total for women-founded businesses. And I think there's a lot more really we can look into this. So I can't give too much away. I don't want to steal the glory from other members of the team, but at the moment we're really looking at active companies, and I think one of the interesting things to look at would be to understand a bit more about why there aren't as many women-founded businesses in the UK, whether it's a story of them not getting the support or whether it's a case of actually they're just not being encouraged to set up a business in the first place. And I hope one day that's something that we could answer with our data. So my understanding is this starts right at the top, from people setting up their pension schemes and choosing to have an ESG focused pension scheme, and that filtering down to fund managers, venture capital firms, all looking for ESG kind of safe investments, with more and more oversight on what an ESG kind of safe investment is. I think before there wasn't so much clarity on what that is, and now I think the government is really getting behind that. So I think there's going to be more and more due diligence for investors, and I think they will be looking for things such as is this company founded by a woman or from possibly a minority background. And I think that will become a bigger part of investment decisions and due diligence. I think probably frustratingly, it's been something that's been on people's mind for quite a while, and it's been something that's been talked about. And I think really it's only in the last couple of years, with things such as the Rose Review, that I think more actions have been taken. And I think having government behind this at the top level, for example, they have a women-led high growth enterprise task force. I think the commitment from them just further demonstrates that this is like a serious issue, and the kind of, like I said, the landscape is changing, and that more action's been taken. I also think it's hard to get a sense of what progress has been achieved in this area. So one of the reasons why we did the inclusive growth no-code hack to begin with was because there really wasn't a good picture of what was happening. And I think if people are talking about this issue and a lot of people are talking about it, you can get the impression that change is happening. And without data to kind of understand that a bit more, then you just assume, oh, it's getting better. We'll be focusing on adding more and more ESG data, and hopefully this is just a trend across the industry. People's ability to make decisions just improves, and we know more about ESG companies and a lot of the kind of social inequalities that are happening in the world of business. It's fingers crossed. Always more data. Never ask for less data. So